Hi, Professor. So, as a reflection on a lesson that I have learned through all the lesson plans I have written, my favorite one by far would have to be the shapes and colors and differentiate of how to work with different students on different levels. I personally found that writing these lesson plans to me were a little bit easy as I work in a classroom and I help the teacher that I work with come up with lessons, but I also gained a lot of information from my observations within the different classrooms. I do believe that when we as a teacher are coming up with lessons, we have to think of the higher functioning students who can do a more higher level math than a lower functioning student who is at a lower level. So in a sense, you have to plan accordingly based off of their goals and what needs they may have. I also found that having different strategies to work with students, whether you have a student who giving a high five every time they're doing their work is getting them to want to continue to do their work, or you may have a student that you have to use the strategy of breaking down and only having 3 items presented on a sheet so they don't get too overwhelmed with the information that is in front of them, because every student is different, every student learns differently, and every student acknowledges the differentiation of what they interpret through lessons. For me, I thought it was very easy, but also rewarding to write these lesson plans, especially the color, shape, and differentiating size along with color and trying to match the color that might go with the smaller size or vice versa. This is something that I work with students on a daily in the classroom that I work in, as well as being able to go out into a classroom and observing and seeing how they may differentiate the work and caseload for different students, where you might need to have a strategy of keeping a kid on task by having a token chart or even like a star chart, just to be like, hey, you're doing your work, awesome, I'm going to give you a check. Hey, you went up to the board and you completed that assignment that everybody was completing, here, you get a check. But definitely overall, I have to say, as a teacher, you're going to have to write many lesson plans, whether it's for math, ELA, social studies, science. This is great knowledge because you can take what you do for math and how you wrote it out and put it into other areas and how it's broken down, whether it's by the same lesson plan template or if it's by a different template. But for some students, math is very hard, and sometimes we need to find ways that are engaging for them. So we could play a game like Boom Cards or a Quizlet or a Kahoot, and that is where I find is great for students to keep their attention span to wanting to keep learning about their different shapes, their different colors, their attributes. But going from there, that's how they gain the knowledge and they can continue it from first grade all the way up until adulthood. And it's something that I really enjoyed. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn all of this throughout your class and to let us be creative. I think that was probably the best part I had in this class, was being creative and sharing the lesson plans with my coworkers, and where they could see I had the fun knowledge, but I also gained knowledge from them, with them giving me the help I needed to make it right. And thank you again for your class.